Hi, before I begin this video, I just want to mention two things, please. The first thing is the email that I've listed. If you don't want your email on the video, please don't send me the email. If you want, it's really difficult for me to type. My hands cramp up, so I generally don't type that much. So any email that you send me, I'm going to anonymously do a video on. The second thing is I don't do videos one right after another, not yet anyway. So if I've not gotten to your video and you've not heard back from me that I don't have any experience with this, your video will get done. But for me to do back to back continuously, some days it's tougher than others. So with that being said, uh, going back to my last video on the narcissist demands that you bow your head, here is the video. I'm sorry, the audio, the recording that this particular woman had captured while in discussion with her narcissistic mother. And what I want you to do is pick up a couple little points here. First thing is, notice right up front, early on, when the narcissist is called, you'll notice that the narcissist hesitates, gathers her thoughts, can't really have a conversation. She's thinking, she's trying to get her position straight. She can't have a normal, fluid conversation with supposing her daughter. And what they're doing is they're getting their battle plans ready. And the other thing I want you to really pay particular attention to, and I know you're going to see this, is that while the narcissist grandchild was in possibly emotional pain or was going through a confusing time or whatever the case might be, it was a trying time, the narcissist is making it all about her and no concern of the child. Now, somebody with normal empathetic feelings would want to make sure that that child, that person that they supposedly loves, is okay. How are they doing? I'm concerned about them. Instead, in this case, the narcissist makes it all about themselves. When am I going to get the apology? They will apologize to me first before anything goes any further. I am in control. And again, I've mentioned this before in my last video, that this is when the narcissist gets older, they're losing that control. They need that supply and they will do anything to get it. And they fear losing it. So they won't budge an inch. But a normal parent or grandparent would be more worried and concerned about the child instead of demanding the apology. So let's start this. Okay, so I'm new at this. Here we go.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah.
Hi. Hi.
So,
What's the matter?
well, nothing is the matter. I just assumed that you were mad at me.
Of course not. Why would I be mad? I wasn't mad at you. I just said I was just not going to go there because it doesn't get us anywhere. But, you know, of course I'm not mad at you. I love you, whether you believe it or not. But anyway, so,
See, I love you, whether you believe it or not. You know how many times I've been told that? Never mind my actions. They don't mean anything. I love you. You just can't see it.
wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, so you decided to go ahead with the big surgery?
Well, yeah, she has to have it. She's
But I know you
getting
were kind of discussing it, whether or not you do it.
yeah, but when we talked to the vet, she really needs to have it done. So, yeah, we have to move forward and do it so that she'll have a better quality of life. And I think it'll turn out
You're not
okay.
very old, are you? How old is she?
She's 3. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's just so young to work.
Yeah, she's got many years ahead of her to live, so it'll help. Hopefully, it will improve her quality of life.
Yeah.
So that's the goal, anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about KJ and I coming to visit?
Well, I told you that I'd love that. But I just don't want to talk about the past. I do have to explain to KJ why I really can't connect with him any longer until he realizes that he does owe me an apology. Explain to him why I think he does. And if he doesn't get it,
How many times have you heard this before?
Get it.
I am going to withhold love. I am going to withhold my emotions. I'm going to withhold my feelings until they apologize to me.
I'm just curious why it's so important. I don't understand because he apologized to Ryan.
The apology?
Yeah.
Because he broke my heart in a million pieces. I mean, when he stayed with us at Autumn Chase, he was lying. He wasn't going to school at all. He wasn't doing his homework. He was faking it. And then when he came to...
Isn't that kind of normal, though?
Oh, what? Normal for what? For who?
For kids that age to lie about doing their homework?
He wasn't a kid. He was in college.
Right.
And he was just faking the whole thing, Johnny. The whole thing.
Now listen to that. He was in college, and yet the grandmother is upset because he didn't do his homework. He's a grown man. He's 25 years old. The narcissist is going to look for any excuse at all to degrade, to put someone else down, put themselves in a position to demand an apology. Demand that you bow to your head to them. 25 years old, and she's upset that he lied to her about doing his homework. Look at the control that's involved there.
The picture was bad. It was wrong. He wasn't even going to school. You know,
but that's his problem. I mean, that's
no. He of course it's his problem, but it's a very bad thing to do to your grandparents. You know, Daddy was suspicious. He said, I don't think that he's going to school. And I said, I'm thinking the same thing, but I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. And then when he was supposed to be doing homework, I just kind of surprised him, and he was not doing homework. He was just sitting there with a book open, and he was not doing homework. You know, and then he lied against me and telling me no past, you know, and told me he'd let me know if Brian was smoking pot and he'd keep an eye on him for me. And of course, he wasn't. He was smoking pot with him in your car. He was just deceiving me all the time.
You know what? When I would smoke pot, when I was in my young years, I didn't want anyone to know my business either. It's none of anyone's business what I do. And especially if they're an adult. But yet, she's upset that he deceived her. How dare an adult man deceive her?
I was giving him my heart and whatever I could do for him. And I'm not going to argue about it, Ellen. I mean, Johnny, he did this. I mean, and he has to make amends to people that he's hurt, that he's lied to and deceived. And that's part of the 10-step program. And I don't know if he's working one or not.
First of all, it's a 12-step program. It's not a 10-step program. So they're putting out the foundation that they know what they're talking about. Oh, I've looked into this. This is what they are supposed to do. See, I know better than them.
But I know that works. And, you know, I feel totally deceived by him. And I know that the drugs were the foremost thing in his mind. But still, if he's working a program, he should know. He should know that he has to make amends for all the wrong things he did to people because of his drug abuse.
That's for
Okay. He has to make amends for all the things he's done. First of all, she knows nothing about 12-step program. It's up to him who he decides that he's hurt. It's certainly not up to her. And this early in the stage of a recovery, being 2 years, is incredibly fragile. And you know what the narcissist is going to do? She's going to get her apology, and then she's going to use that as leverage continuously going forward, making him feeling worse about himself. Whether he has an addiction or not, she's going to make that scapegoat child feel worse any chance she can. And where's that going to lead to? Reusing.
him, though. That's his life. It was his decision.
No, it was us truth. Why do you think they have that step in that program? It's a very, very important one.
I could tell you why they have that step. First of all, there's a lot of different programs out there aside from AA now. There's a lot that you can choose from. And, you know,
aware of that.
yeah, there's several.
I'm aware of that.
What's that?
You know, if that were me, Johnny, I would feel that, God, I really owe my grandparents an apology.
For lying
the way
about
I
doing
behaved.
homework?
He was pretending that he was deceiving us, Johnny. He wasn't even going to school.
He was deceiving us. How dare they? A grown man was deceiving us. Well, chances are very good that he just didn't want you or anyone else to know your business, his business. Remarkable, isn't that?
But that hurts him most of anybody, and that's
right.
That
Of
if
course, it's not the part of him getting well. Don't you think that you don't agree that he owes me an apology? I put my trust, my faith in him.
I'm sure that you've been lied to, Mom, by many people, and the fact that
he out and out deceit. But
it
you know what?
wasn't
It's not
like
up to you and I. It is not up to you and I to argue. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to go into the past. I just want to let KJ know why I have not wanted to be in touch with him. And if he doesn't think that makes sense, well, then that's it. I'll wish him good luck. I'll pray for him, and that'll be that.
I still want to ask you, you don't think of, that Michael or Ryan or Joey or Pat, they've never lied about doing their homework?
No,
and is it...
You're lighting in on the homework then because it's the least of everything.
Well, then that's elaborate more
but
for me.
It was all part of the big picture. It was all part of the disease. It was all part of the disease.
I think that from what I've heard other people say is that it is people who have really committed very serious things. They've stolen from their family. They've allowed prostitutes in their home. They have deceived them out of thousands and thousands of dollars.
You're
much deeper.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to discuss.
But you brought up the homework. I didn't.
That was all part of the deceit. That was
what
all
else?
part of him deceiving us.
But where did he didn't even live there. He was there.
He was living with us for 2 weeks.
Yeah, he was there for 2 weeks, and you
for 2 weeks. He was not going to school. Look what
You're
he was
allowing
doing,
this?
Dan. Look what he was doing, man. Look
But
what
that's
he did to you.
Look at the control that the narcissist wants to have. She had her grandson in her home for 2 weeks. You know what I would do right now to have my son in my home for even 2 days? She took no pleasure, it sounds to me, of having her grandson home, where she obviously doesn't see him for long periods of time because he doesn't live there. But yet, instead of being able to enjoy his presence, she needed to have the control of everything that he did. The recording goes on, much like you've just heard. And you've asked my opinion. You've asked me that you were going on February 10th, I believe it was, to go see your mother, your son's grandmother. And, that's completely up to you. I simply cannot make that decision. What I can say is, don't you dare feel guilty if you don't. If you go there, I'm going to tell you what to expect. That your mother, your son's grandmother, demands that you bow to her. It's always going to be about her. It's not going to be genuine love. Now I get, here it is. Now I get that she's really old and you want to see her before she goes, right? And you're afraid that you're going to feel guilty that if she goes and you don't see her. Well, let me tell you. She had, 89 years to see you, to do the right thing with you, to love you, to nourish you, emotional nourish. All those years. And when you return or when you go see her, you're going to be her captive audience. If you don't go, do not let guilty feelings enter into your mindset. It's like going complete no contact. There has to come a time where you say, that's enough. I will no longer take this abuse. That's enough. It's bad enough to be abused presently, in the moment, there while that person's abusing you, where you start to feel bad about yourself, where you start to feel angry about yourself. But then, after that visit, that's going to be a tape that's going to play constantly in your mind, whether you wanted to or not, whether you believe that it's not your fault or not. That's not the question. It's going to create a tape that you're going to replay in your mind constantly. And is that the type of good mental health that you want for yourself, your son, or your husband? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? That's only a question that you can answer. But I came to a point, and it took me, oh my goodness, it took me so long to really see it clear that I've only got a finite time on this earth. And I'm going to live it. I'm going to live it happy. I'm going to have nice, kind, happy people around me. People who are my unconditional friends or my unconditional lovers or my unconditional relationships. I'm not going to waste what little time I have on this planet to feed someone else's narcissistic supply. I'm going to make sure I'm happy with each and every day, because that day could end tomorrow or the next day. So I'm alive now, right? I'm breathing. I'm going to enjoy it. And those little seeds, if you visit, those little seeds that are planted are going to grow for years. But that's only a question that you have to decide. I wish you peace in whatever decision you come with. Really. Because that's what I strive for all the time. Thanks.
Look at when
Oops.